So that loss to Dallas means New Orleans will have to wait until next week to possibly accomplish all those things. The loss also shuffled the standings in the NFC. The Los Angeles Rams now take over the top spot, and if the season ended today, Los Angeles would earn home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Now, the Saints can get back into the 1 seed if both teams end the season with identical records, because New Orleans has that head-to-head tiebreaker with that win earlier in the season. So let's look at the remaining schedule for both teams. At first glance, it looks like the Rams have the easiest schedule, and the numbers reflect that. The opponent's winning percentage the Saints will face in the final 4 games is at .535. Meanwhile, the Rams, in their final 5 games, just .382. New Orleans needs to focus on this stretch, which includes the Steelers and the Panthers twice, but also needs LA to trip up along the way. And this December 9th Sunday night game against the NFC North leading Bears may be a Sunday night where the entire Who Dat Nation is cheering for the Bears. The Saints are still one of the favorites to win it all. They just need to do some work in the final month of the season to put themselves in a position to do just that. Todd, Karen?